Capital punishment is as old as most ancient civilized societies. The first established death penalty law dates back as far as the 18th century BC, created by King Habarai of Babylon. Capital punishment is one of the worst concepts that we as American society have for our correctional facilities. Capital punishment going back to the 18th century, as just mentioned, might not be described as archaic, since it seems an eye for an eye is a perfectly sound reasoning for most Americans. Today I will give you some reasons to have American society abolish capital punishment. 1, it promotes the killing as a solution to difficult problems. 2, capital punishment doesn't deter crime very well. And 3, life imprisonment ensures no future crimes at a fraction of the cost. Capital punishment may just be an easy solution to our more difficult criminals that we don't know what to do with. In a paper by Charles P. Kozak, the average cost of a prison inmate is over $20,000 annually. On average, the average death row inmate costs taxpayers $90,000 more annually. Further studies by Jennifer Garner show that in 1970, our prisons held fewer than 200,000 people. Now that number exceeds 1.5 million. And when you add in local jails, it's 2.3 million. That's an average 1 to 100, 1 out of 100 Americans. The citizens and government are trying to find easy solutions to an ever-abundant problem. So what do we do? If it was good enough for our fathers, it'll be good enough for us type of mentality is not a good enough argument anymore. America has a do-what-I-do mentality that influences other countries and how they live, but the majority of first world countries have better control over their crime than America does, and they don't have capital punishment. So how do we solve the problem? With life imprisonment, without parole for their crimes? Americans will know where and what prisoners are up to. With all of their movements documented, they have to live by the rules that we have set in place for them. Protecting society from any of their future actions. This will save the taxpayers $90,000 per inmate. Deterring crime is a hard thing to do these days. One of the largest debates to date is, does the death penalty keep crime rates down? In a study performed by Professor Isaac Illich and Professor Zaki-Ang Liu, with data collected over decades of results using statistics, state that approximately a 1% increase in convictions equals a 1% drop in crime. So from this study, we can prove that the death penalty is less efficient than a higher conviction rate. And if we abolish the death penalty, that could make the court system more efficient, as well as allowing an even bigger increase in convictions and a bigger drop in crime. So I've covered how capital punishment promotes killing as a solution to difficult problems, how capital punishment doesn't deter crime well, and life imprisonment ensures no future crimes at a fraction of the cost. It could be said that we are taking the easy way out using the death penalty as a solution to our most heinous and difficult crimes. But it comes at a cost, not only morally but financially, and with little result in deterring crime. If Americans stop killing prisoners, we'll free up courts from long and expensive appeals, allowing courts to make more convictions deterring crime more efficiently, and saving American taxpayers large sums of money, thus allowing Americans to have a morally clean conscience. And this was my visual aid. It's basically a timeline on the execution day. Basically, it starts out, they get like visitation time, and then it goes to, they get their last meal. Then they get strapped into a gurney. They get read their last rites. Basically, they set up the death chamber. It's called the death chamber. Basically, they euthanize them. And what I found interesting is that on the death penalty, they cause of death homicide.